and trains. I would love it if you could cover buses and trains.
I'm going to cover buses and trains. We're kind of getting onto that because Anne-Marie here is saying, so would minibus taxis be the same as transport buses? Minibus taxis are a specifically South African form of transport. So our South African audience is going to understand that. And what they do. I mean, I lived there for 7 years, so I saw them, and it's more of it's regulated form of like a bus, but it probably takes about 15 people, and they're not scheduled. But if you kind of stop where you know that they have a stop for a South African taxi minibus, then one will be along like pretty soon, right? So hopefully that answers that question.
So it could mean a small ministry or a ministry that takes people to a place. But this is the thing about taxis, is always a price to pay.
Yeah.
Now, a price isn't always a financial price, but could be of your time, of your energy, and that's usually what it's referring to. If there's a price to pay, it's time, energy, attention, and you might have to go to stuff that's happening within that ministry. A bus, I think, would be a bigger ministry, and what I understand, a train could be a whole lot of churches in a church movement, but it might not be that. So context is always very, very important.
Yeah.
And it's always very important to understand the context within your dream.
Yeah, I mean, if you just think about the difference between a bus and a train, all right, because they do a similar thing, right? So a bus is almost like a carriage on a train. It's kind of capable of taking the same kind of numbers of people. You have to, when you're on a bus, it's designed to take a certain number of people. Now that could refer to a fellowship. You almost also think like, well, is it a single-decker bus? Is it a double-decker bus? A bus also goes on a route, and it has certain stops, all right, like a train does. So, but a bus can take alternative routes, whereas a train can't, because a train runs on the tracks, and then that's like, it's going to go where it's going to go. It's got a lot of momentum, and it's going to go there usually pretty quickly. So if you're thinking about a train carrying a lot of people in carriages, then it's something that is it's going to go quite fast. It's going to have a lot of momentum, and once you get on a train, you can't really get off it. You know, might take you quite a long way before you're able to exit it. So then you think about all of these different. How is this different from that? Why in my dream was I in a bus and not a car? Why was I in a carriage and a train and not a bus? It's going to highlight some of the things which might help you understand why that particular symbol was used in your dream and what that is trying to tell you about the situation it relates to.